y'all. Today we're setting up our planting calendar. This is where I use the lunar calendar as well as the astrological signs to set up what I need to plant and when. So we have already set up this page in my May monthly planner video or bullet journal, whatever y'all call it. I kind of use it interchangeably. So we are going to start off the month in a dark moon phase. So whenever it's the dark moon phase, I just use these little arrows to let me know that this is when I'm going to plant my below ground crops. So we are in the dark moon phase all the way until the 7th. And on the 7th, that is the new moon, and that changes to the light moon phase at 11:22 p.m. and that's for me. I think I'm Central Time, so that's what it is for me. So if you're in a different time zone, it may be a different time, but it's really late, so most people aren't out planting that at that time anyways. So most of the day it's going to be a below ground or dark moon phase. So since this is the darkest day, we then switch to the light moon phase, and this is where we plant our below or above ground crops. So above ground. So we're going to draw our little arrows like this, or at least this is how I do it. I have been planning this way and setting it up this way for years. I used to use this little calendar to do appointments and things like that, and that did not work very well for me, but I have been using this setup for years, and it has helped me so much. So on the 23rd, that's when we're going to have our full moon, and this is going to be our lightest day. So this is also called like the flowering moon. Some people call it the corn planting moon, and that reminds me, I completely forgot that I got some corn that I need to plant. So I need to remember to add that into the list because I completely already forgot about that. And another thing, some people call it a milk moon. So whenever we have our lightest day, and this is going to happen at 9:53 in the morning for me. So this day would then be the dark moon phase. So after we have our lightest day, we then move into the dark moon phase, and it will stay in the dark moon phase all the way until the darkest day, which is the new moon, and then we will change to the light moon phase, and you just have this cycle that happens again and again. So that's how I track the lunar part of it. And if I only had one of these systems to use, I would use this. I have had a lot better luck doing it this way and planting the below ground crops on the dark moon phase and the above ground crops on the light moon phase. That has made a world of difference. Now on to the astrological signs. This has really made a big difference too, and we are going to start off the day or the month with the fertile sign. So this is kind of like a so-so day. It's not really good or bad. It's just kind of so-so. And the astrological sign with that is Aquarius, the leg. And then we're going to move on to the 2nd and the 3rd. So these are very fertile days. So we are gonna, this is like the best of the best day to do your planting. And since it's a below ground crop day or dark moon phase, that would be like a great day to do like radishes or turnips or something like that. If my back ends up getting better, that's what I hope to plant, but I'm also trying to keep in mind to take it a little bit easy. So we'll see if I end up getting that far. So this is Pisces, the feet. So that's what that one is. And then we're going to move on to the 4th and the 5th. And the astrological sign with this is Aries, the head. So have that. And then this, whenever you're on Aries, the head, this is a killing day. So this is a day that you would not want to do any planting, seed starting, transplanting, none of that. I reserve these days for as best as I can as weeding days. Now this is like an ideal. if I had it ideally and everything worked perfectly, I would get everything done. Life doesn't work that way, so I I sometimes have to weed on other days, and I can't always do it this way, but I have had the best luck if I can actually stick to it. So these are like my weeding days. These are like the best of the best days to weed. And then we're going to move on to the 6th and the 7th, and that is Taurus the neck. So we're going to move on to that, and that is another very fertile day. So that would be another opportunity if you weren't able to get those root crops in. Here's your last opportunity before we change and go to the above ground days or the light moon phase. So after that, we are going to have the 8th and the 9th, which is a bean and pea day. So I've already got our peas planted. I did that in March and they are looking great. They are getting really big. So it will be, for me, it would be a great time to plant beans. I have a bunny that really likes to eat our beans and peas, especially our beans. I did not get anything last year, so I need to try this again, and I don't know what to do about the bunnies, but I always love that because it's Gemini, the arms. That's the astrological sign, and I just think it's so funny, especially the peas that I grow. They're the magnolia tendril peas, and they have the little vines and little bits that come off and just go everywhere, and I just think that's so fitting. So the next few days are the astrological sign is Cancer. Actually, it's going to be the next 3 days. So the 10th, 11th, and 12th. This is Cancer, the breast, and then let's see. So that one is a very fertile days. So we have got 3 really, really good days. So this would be a great day to get like all of your above ground crops. Like I know this is usually whenever I put my main crops in, like my tomatoes and peppers, and I am hoping that I am so much better so I can do this. And it's amazing because it's spread out over 3 days. That doesn't always happen, and it's even the weekend. So I mean, it's like the stars are aligned on this one. So it is going to be great. As long as the weather holds out and it's not like stormy or anything, this will be a perfect day to get all of those plants put in. I do like my tomatoes and peppers, and I also try and do like my squash and melons and all those things, and it would be good to do the corn like I was forgetting earlier. Those are all great things to do then. Now we're going to move into the 13th and 14th. The astrological sign with this one is Leo, the heart. And that is also more killing days. So this is a great day to do your weeding. And like I said, on these days, I try and not do any transplanting, seed starting, anything like that. And I have done this, unfortunately, with the perennial, and it has not done very well at all. So I am a big believer in this one. On the 15th through the 17th, we have Virgo the bowels. So we'll write that. And these days are flowering days. So these would be a great day to get all your flowers in, like sunflowers. Where I'm at, it's like this is like your go time. Like all of our chances of frost and everything have already passed, and it is very, very unlikely to get a frost usually around the mid-May for us. So this is like go time. You can plant basically whatever you want. Other things I always wait and plant too are okra and let's see what else, and sweet potatoes too. Now I wouldn't plant the sweet potatoes in the above ground day. They would be in the dark moon phase and the below ground crops, but I always wait and do that later because they really like the warm weather. Okay, so next up we have 2 more days that are Libra, the rains. Let's see, there we go. And those are also flowering days. So we have a long time here for the flowering days. And those are all above ground, so it aligns perfectly. So next up, if we weren't able to get our garden put in on this weekend for whatever reason, we have a few more days. We are so lucky this month. There are 3 more very fertile days. So, I mean, you could not ask for a better setup here to get that many very fertile days to put in your garden. So these are Scorpio the secrets. So we'll write that, and I'm just so excited that there are so many really good days this month. It is amazing. And then after that, we have the full moon, so we change and are into the dark moon phase. And then we're going to be in the fertile sign. So these are like the so, not really good, not really bad, but still not a bad time to plant. So this is Sagittarius, the thighs. And I guess this would be a good time to do like I was saying, like your beets, radishes, turnips, if those didn't sprout or something like that. This would be a good time to do that. Not the best time, but still a good time. And then we're gonna move on to 2 more days. This is gonna be Capricorn, the knees, and those are also fertile days. So we'll write fertile here. And then the next few days, so there's 2 more days, where if you notice here, this one's going to be Aquarius, the legs. We are basically starting over. So see here that so this is going to be another fertile day. So you just kind of start over. You just keep going, but it kind of changes up. Some astrological signs go for 2 days, some go for 3 days, and it changes up. So it's a little bit tricky that way, but everything else it's really simple. And sometimes you have ember days. We don't have that this month, but there's a little it can get tricky sometimes. Okay, so next up we have the 29th through the 30th. So these are going to be very fertile days. So this is another best of the best day to plant your below ground crops. And that is Pisces, the feet. And then the last day is Aries, the head. And let's see. That is going to go all the way through to June 1st. And this is killing days. So, like I was saying before, I try not to do any of my seed starting, transplanting, anything like that on these days because I just really have not had the best luck with it. But I find that if I could do it on the very fertile days, that's the best. And the fertile days, they're pretty good too. So, other things to keep in mind are like if you're needing to make changes, that is best to do all the way through the 3rd. Basically, anytime you get with these astrological signs, anytime you get like below the bowels and go down, so like your thighs and lower, that is the good time to make your changes. So that's what we have there. I don't think there's anything else I needed to remember. Wait, I forgot to say, whenever you make your changes, that is a good time to do whenever it's below the bowels because the energy is moving out of your body. So that's why you want to do that. Another thing I forgot is you want to put in your fence post or do your gravel or stepping stones or anything like that in the above ground phases or the light moon phase. That way they don't sink into the ground. I know that sounds really woo-woo, but I have tested this and it really does make a big difference. Another thing I forgot to share is I create these like monthly kind of to-do lists, checklists, whatever you want to call it. Cheat sheets is more what I use them like, but these are things to remind me of things that I need to do for the month. So like I have a long list here. Mostly the main thing, number one thing is getting the main crops put in. Things like that. Also check for pests. I have a homemade bug spray that I make and do all that. I have my list of things that I need to be sure and harvest. We're going to have lots of berries coming in, especially dewberries. And then also I like to just keep track of some of the things that are flowering and really pretty. We still might have a few honeysuckles. They were a little early this year, so we might still have some of those, but I always be sure and get my nasturtiums because I had to hydrate those. So that is everything that I have there, and I think I remembered everything this time. So thank y'all all so much for watching. If y'all have any questions, y'all leave them down in the comments below and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all take care, and I hope that y'all's gardens produce abundantly. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.